I was like sitting here thinking about all of these things. I've spent way too much time, I think, being stuck still, sitting. It's driving me nuts. And I keep running into these things over and over again where I'm like, are you kidding me? The amount of like noise in the world is phenomenal. Like it truly surprises me. And then I sit there and think like, how are other people handling this? What are people doing? Like, this is just crazy. And then I was like, Sadhana soon. Because it's nuts. Like all the noise and everything. Hey Brandy, hi. All the noise and everything that's going on is just like so constant. And it is amazing the amount of um, bombarding of information we have. Um, so I was thinking, because I have a lot of thoughts, and I know we do sadhana Sunday through Thursday. And I think that that's great. We'll keep doing sadhana. But I think that I don't know yet. It's either going to be like Friday or Saturday. I'm going to steal one of those days and probably do another live that's not just the fireside. I haven't even talked to Joy about it. And we all know Joy's really the boss. So we'll see what she says. As she's probably watching this going, what? But at the same time, like there's so many other things to share. There's so many other things that are positive going on, right? Like when you think of what is going on and your ability to control things, and I don't like care if it's like work or hey Stephanie, hi. I'm talking about like with your family, with work, with your peers, your the society, and like not just politics, but maybe in your communities. There's so many things going on, right? And there's only so much you have control over. And that's just the reality of it. You only have control over yourself. You're responsible for yourself, and you only have control over yourself. So what you decide to do is solely up to you. The way you react to things, the way you respond to things, the way you interpret things, all of this. And those of you who have been following me a while, you know that like a big part of me and like one of my core values is just freedom, right? Humanity, freedom. I'm not here to tell anybody like what to do, what to believe, what to think, nothing. It's all about you do you, man. Like seriously, girl, like you do you. And it's so ingrained in me. Like that's the only time I get upset is when I feel like I or people have been like trapped, like somehow, right? And the noise that is going on of all these things coming at us from all these directions, right? Like it, depending on your life, if you don't have children and it's just you, usually work's a big part of your life, especially if you're in America, right? And then when you look outside that and you start looking at family, you say you've got kids, like, come on, you can only get your kids to do so much. Like I've raised some, I know. I love my kids, but I'm like, whoo, there have been some days, right? Where you're just like, just eat or just do something. But when you're looking at all of these things, even with work, right? Maybe you're not in a position that allows you to have your ideas and thoughts heard, right? Because of where you're working. And all these things can be super frustrating for us. But the way you interpret that and what you do after that is solely up to you, because you have the freedom to change what's up in here and what's in here and how you connect here. And I just felt like I needed to say that today. So there you have it. And speaking of that, that's one of the reasons why today we're going to do box breathing. It's worked out very well for so many clients. And again, like when I was first introduced to box breathing, it wasn't far from sadhana, where I was like, wait, what are we doing? Like, we're just breathing and that's supposed to fix my problems. And magically, it kind of does. So we're going to do some box breathing today. And I want you to take the time to go through it. And you can come back and find this and look at it and watch it as many times as you need. Just obviously fast forward to the box breathing part. So about 5 to 6 minutes in, since I went on a tangent in the beginning. But what you want to do is whenever you are in a situation where you're upset, where your emotions are getting beyond you, where you can't think straight, maybe you've got a headache, right? Or something else going on that's making it hard for you, whatever it is, like it's the same thing we talk about with sadhana, where your body starts getting, like, your body can't tell that there is not an emergent situation. Your body can't tell that you're not actually being threatened. Your body can only tell what you're letting it hear and see, right? We have all these senses. I mean, just physically here in this present, we've got, our touch, our smell, our sight, our vision. Like, we've got these energies and these senses that we can experience here. And your brain will interpret what you're telling it as a threat if your heart rate starts going up, and it will start flooding your system with blood, just like we were talking about earlier this week. And so the reason that's such a big deal is 2 accounts, right? One, it's challenging for your body because it starts releasing other hormones to dump toxins into your body that are meant for like years and years and years ago when we had to like survive, right? And those survival skills still are in us, but we've never really adapted to the survival skills in our society, right? Because we think of like going out and like being presented with like a bear, a wolf, a lion, something that is going to kill us. Potentially. I'm not saying they're going to, but could. And or like having a massive injury. These types of things is what that's for, right? Your body dumps adrenaline, and when it dumps that adrenaline, you have like superhuman strength, and it's amazing, and that's what it's there for. But when you get in a situation where you feel threatened because you have no control over something, your body can't tell the difference. Your brain can't tell the difference unless you figure out how to control that. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is the emotional turmoil you put yourself through. It's exhausting, like truly exhausting. Like, not only do you have these physical effects of it, but you actually build trauma in your system based off of it too. And then you have a whole nother problem where you've got like this constant, like they call it like burnout or fatigue and all these different things. All of that is from the way you respond to the experiences we have every day in all of our lives. So when you think of anything that is creating your heart rate to increase, right? And I know this is going to sound funny, but even like being overly joyful can do it. It just dumps different hormones, right? So when you're evaluating yourself throughout the day, keep checking in. Just try it for 1 week. Do a check-in throughout the day for a week of like, is this elevating me? Or why am I starting to feel anxious? Why am I irritated? And start having this dialogue internally of questioning how you're feeling and why you're feeling it. And then start using box breathing whenever that happens. One, it's very like discreet. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I have to sit and do sadhana. You can just box breathe, right? One of my daughters regularly calls me to box breathe. She's like, Mom. And I'm like, okay, just take a breath. Hold on. And then we go through it, right? And then she can explain to me calmly what is going on. And we figure out, okay, well, what are you going to do about that? Right? Because it's your choice. That's your freedom and your right. You can control you. And I don't think that a lot of people are taught this. I know a different daughter, and why I knew about box breathing was because of the other daughter. She definitely struggled with this as like in kindergarten. And so in that situation, we had to go through and like, hey, you don't got control over that. You got to let go of it. But what do you have control over? Right. I also taught it when I was preschool teaching because of that same, like, you need these skills. And I don't think we all got them. So we're going to talk about, we're going to go through box breathing. Now, box breathing, some of you know this. Actually, Brandon and Stephanie both said hi. You both know this. But for those of you who don't know this, box breathing is 4 counts of 4. So you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and you hold that for 4 seconds, and you repeat it. And Stephanie Joy, hey. Oh. So we're going to go through it and we're going to practice it. And then what you want to do is once you start, and we'll talk about more of this actually later this week. I think, yeah, we'll talk about it later this week. But with some of that, what we've got going on, hey, Joy, hey, is you want to be able to do it as many times as necessary. Okay. So that might be like 5 times. That might be 10 times, depending on the situation. And you might just only need to do it once or twice. The goal would be you've got this programming you're putting in your brain before the situation comes up. And you'll see when we go into this practice how quickly you can adapt to it and feel relief from it. And your body just starts calming down. And so all those hormones stop and they start shrinking back so that you get normal oxygen and blood flow through your brain. So your heart and your brain are working right and clear. And so you want to be able to do all of that. So, and I was going to say something, but I think I will save it for later in the week because I can kind of go off on tangents. Because now we're at like 12 minutes. Sorry about that. But let's go ahead and practice. You do not need to close your eyes. You don't need to get comfortable. You don't need to do anything. And I'll use my fingers for our count. And then what we'll do is we're going to go 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale, 4 hold. And we're going to do it multiple times. So go ahead and inhale. Hold. And release. Hold. That's it. Right? So now we'll just do it again. Go ahead and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. Hold. And release. Hold. How do you feel now? Like genuinely, like how are you feeling? Like you've done it 3 times now. Are you feeling the difference? You can go ahead and put it in the comments. You feel so much better, right? It's like so calming. I tend to hold my breaths longer, I think, from doing my own practices. So, but yeah, right? Lots calmer. Yeah, you feel energized, maybe like clear, like you're good to go. Yeah, it's so crazy how quick that is. Yeah, it's that simple. And we only did it 3 times. So if you just practice this throughout the day, and I would challenge you to just start practicing it constantly throughout the day, right? Yeah, so much release. Totally. I love that. Refreshed. Yeah. All of those are great. Those are the feelings we want, right? Like we want to feel great. So I would definitely suggest doing this. Like if you have to do it a minimum of 10 times a day, but I would suggest just doing it constantly throughout the day. Like maybe set a timer like every hour and just do it until you can start being aware and recognizing those moments when you're like, I just need to calm down, right? So, because you don't want all of those toxins dumping in your body. At the end of the day, that's why people are exhausted. They don't go to the gym, they just sit. They don't go work out. They don't feel like doing anything. They just want to eat, look at what chores they don't want to do, and watch TV or a movie or scroll on social media or make a phone call, right? All these other things that aren't productive. And it's not that, you shouldn't take these chill times, because of course you can. A little Zen moment. Yes, exactly, Stephanie. A little Zen moment. You definitely want to have some downtime and some like self-care, right? We all deserve that. But I would ask you what you're doing during those times. And does it align with your purpose? And because I do it, my favorite thing I used to do all the time. Now I live in the middle of nowhere. And so I'm working on, whoops, sorry. There was like alerts popping up on my phone. Didn't mean to move it all. Anyways, I used to once a month go to the spa, and I would get like a massage and a facial. And that was like my big to do. And I loved it. And now I live in the middle of nowhere. And so it's like, I think an hour and 45 minutes to drive to the closest one, because I'm also weird about salons. I'm like, is it all organic? And, like I would like this oil. I brought my own. I know that's nuts, but so, but I found one, and I'm going to book an appointment with them. It's going to be worth the drive, but that's cool self-care, right? But think about like your sadhana, your meditations, your mantras, your prayers, your daily rituals that you're doing, right? On top of everything else. Think about it, how much more time you would be able to do that and advance taking care of your body, which we need to do so we can have a healthier body and mind, so that we can more easily connect with spirit. Most of you started following me from way back in the day because I was doing live psychic readings. And everyone was like, I want to do that too. And I'm like, you can. Like, everyone can do this. And then it spiraled from there. And now we're here. But a big part of that is your lifestyle. You have to be able to have time. You have to have time to connect. This isn't like the easy button. It is easy, but you have to like build this foundation and build these steps up to it. Many people who have taken the expansion edition, when they go through that, they're shocked at how much intuition grows in just that 6 weeks. And they're like, oh my gosh, like our little black and white photos, or like, I don't think I have one sitting here. Oh, I do. I have one right here. We did one that you'll see if you take the expansion edition, where you had to guess what was in one of these bags. And they were shocked that not only did they guess, like in general, there were details around it. And it was like, yep, you're right. And I pulled it out, and they were like, holy cow, how did I do that? But that's why you do all of these different practices. That's why I'm always telling you guys, do yoga, do sadhana, do your meditations or prayers, like do the automatic writing, do all these things. Because what you'll start doing from the box breathing and doing sadhanas is you're silencing your mind and you're programming your brain to be able to let go and really connect with source and divine. And that's a beautiful thing. So I ran over. I apologize. But that's me. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And I think tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah, I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow. And thanks, Randy. And then also I'll have that conversation with Joy here in a few minutes, and we'll probably figure out what we're going to do about all this other information I'm going to start sharing with you guys, because I have so much to say. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.